This is y'all mother, Ia Chitty, and I am back. I told you all that this was kind of hard for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my very lovely son, aka producer, hold the camera and take a walk with me into one of my altar rooms to go through some of the beautiful elements that you might want to get your hands on when putting together your Lakshmi altar. Now, I'm freestyling. There's no script. So what I'm going to do is when my son is holding the camera, if you all have questions, while I'm doing some things, then, put them in the chat and either, I guess he can read them to me. But we won't be here too long, okay? Well, let's get started. Um, Here we go. Are you coming with me? All right. Oh, it's gonna get a little dark, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the light so you all can see more clearly. But here's one of the spaces. Here comes Ewa. Because of course, all altar spaces belong to him, right? Okay. So come on in, come on in. I left some things undone so we would have some fun together. So here we are. First, um, where do I begin? Well, there's multiple things here for Lakshmi. She's one of my devatas. Okay, so here is my altar setup for Lakshmi. There are 8 forms of Lakshmi. I have made those videos on this channel, so if you're interested in them and you want to learn more about which type of Lakshmi you need to work with, watch those videos. But tonight, I started this candle this afternoon, and I wanted, if you come in a little closer, I wanted to point out something to you. So, for those of you who've been doing this work, notice that I'm not doing any chanting at the moment, but the activity, and this is a closed, there's no like wind or anything. So the activity of your candles in your altar room are going to be a sure sign of how much power and presence you have. Okay, so if you get any of your candles during your workings that aren't giving you like this kind of vibrance, they'll have different spirits have a different way of moving through fire. But I did share with you all that fire is a very important element to working with Lakshmi. So you have to have a strong flame. I'm going to show you all a different type of lamp because for Lakshmi, also do offerings with ghee and either use like cotton tip or these little ghee mini lamps, which I'll show you. There's a couple of tricks to the trade, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of workings, and if you're like getting this work in between your regular day life, your 9 to 5, and you're not someone that is doing this kind of work all day long. There's some things that are easier. So that would be these babies here. They're called ghee wicks. I'll show you a picture. I think you all should all get you some of these. So this is a wax, okay, that is made from, this is yeah, this wax is made out of ghee, and the wick is made out of cotton. So one of the very important tips in building an altar that is alive is using live materials. So if you're at this point in your game using plastic cups, plastic vases, plastic incense holders, or plastic bowls, or anything that is synthetic, right? Just toss it. It does not hold a vibration, and an altar itself needs to be alive. Much like the earth that we live on is alive, right? And the altar, the earth would be like the altar in the cosmos. Each planet is a living being, and we're on it. So what we create for these deities, in this regard, we're talking about Lakshmi, right? But what we are creating essentially for these deities is a planet, a home that's alive. There are things on there that they live off of, they eat. So they have all of the elements. They have the water, they have plants, plant life, they have fire, they have minerals. These metals provide that, okay? So what you see here, one of the secrets of Lakshmi is the lotus seed. This this is a secret that belongs to the transmission of secrets to wealth and sustaining that wealth and prosperity between Lakshmi and Krishna or Vishnu. Okay? So yeah, so back to these materials. So cotton is alive, the ghee is alive, and then you would place it in something like this or something that is, I usually fill mine with some more ghee. Probably, let me see if I have any more. I do. Alright, so I would take some liquid ghee and fill this up. And then I will put my little mini wick in here, and then I will light it and give it as an offering. Okay? So I'm not going to do that right now because I take doing my rituals seriously, and I don't want to do for show just lighting things up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what you see here so between these two, number one, if you're part of my chi hive, I did a demonstration of how to put together this particular altar. The materials here, although it looks really fancy and full now, are bricks, real clay bricks, and each brick is dedicated to a particular deity. Okay, and they're all represented here. They're dedicated through special writings and mantras. And then this piece of wood, which you can get for yourself, and build your altar at home. You can do your altar even half this size. I want to suggest that if you're not that handy, you can get one of those wooden tray tables. It's wood, it's alive, y'all. Make use of it, especially if you kind of have a smaller space to work in. I actually moved this from a larger space into this smaller space because I wanted to concentrate the energy. So that's another thing. Alright, we'll talk about that in a minute. What is here? So all 8 Lakshmis are here. I'm gonna move this candle for just a minute. Excuse me. so that you can see some things here. All right. So what you'll see are offerings that will stay on your altar. All right. There's real gold here. Okay. Um, these are items that were purchased and given to Lakshmi. 24 karat gold. I don't know how many carats this is, but that's like a piece that I got, like my very first piece of gold from 8mex. Various stones associated with each Lakshmi you see here. Um, what else? This is made out of wood, silver, and copper. Okay, so we get both the lunar and the solar aspects of metals. And okay, what's your question?
Is that a rose quartz?
Here, this is a crystal quartz to amplify the energy. This is a rose quartz over here. Yep. And although you guys, this is green, right? This is actually serpentine. Okay. When we talk about Shakti energy, is a serpent. Okay. Sorry, you guys. All right. Um, what you will notice, and if I shift over here just a bit, because we have the golden Lakshmi here. Okay. So um, some of you ask questions about galactic ancestors, and some of you asked about the connections between the various star systems. And yes, there's a connection. Um, these this particular deity is connected with the deities, um, and I'm not going to say too much more about that at the moment. What else do we have? Master. Okay. Yes. So Lakshmi has a couple of consistent relationships. Her and Ganesha are very tight. They work together in tandem. Um, Another stone that I've given to her is green aventurine, because it's not only just about financial wealth, but it's also about growth. Okay, Lakshmi, in her representation as the lotus, is all about growth and being able to have the tenacity and the will, the focused dedication to rising through all of your aspects. Remember that she's birthed amongst asuras. She's familiar with the grit. She's familiar with the mud. Um, she she is the kind of deity that if you're really wanting to refine your idea of taking something out of the mud and creating something absolutely beautiful and magnetic, that adds a lot of value to your environment, working with Lakshmi will absolutely take you on that journey. Okay? What else? Citrine I also provide to her as well. Um, so let's talk some more about some of these. So I did say I was going to share with you. This is one of my lamps. Okay, I left it out and like to show y'all what it looks like. So when I'm finished cleaning it and refilling it, you'll understand. But what you'll see is that right now the water is this high and there's about like this little pinch of oil left, right? And inside of here, it's not really that dirty, but there have been situations where um, if there's a lot of negativity, or, or I have to do more like darker rituals or cleaning rituals for multiple people, the space has to be clean, okay? And I will see it in this particular lamp. Why? Is because as this oil burns, it pulls that negative energy and traps it. Okay, so there's times where, let me lift this up and give you a little looky. Let's see. You can capture it on film with this lighting. Alright. Do you guys see kind of like that gelatinous stuff? Are they able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like the ick. That's the ick. And it's not so bad, right? Because you see the rest of it is pretty clear. That kind of ick, if you see things like mold, or like sometimes, like little flies or whatever, I treat all flies as demons in my house. My son will tell you, like, if there's a fly in the house, I'm like, okay, number one, all flies must die. And I pretty much work on trying to keep the energy in the house where the flies will drop dead on their own, but I don't like flies in my environment because of what they represent. I mean, that and roaches. Okay? Alright. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this apart and show you all the pieces that I use, because some of you are more interested in upgrading your sources of light on your altars, and this is one of my favorite. If you go anywhere around the world where there's a temple, they're gonna have something more like this as opposed to the candles. But using the candles, because of where we are, and just having something to use that makes life easier and bridging the gap between the east and the west is genius, because the rituals still work for certain, working with the 7-day candles, and they provide you some more freedom of coming and going, whereas this is definitely an open flame, and it might not be so safe for your environment. And once you put it out, you're gonna have to change the wick. So every time it's not like if you were to snuff this out, you can relight it later and continue your work. With this, once it's lit, it's lit. Okay? So let me.
I have a question.
Oh, what's your question?
What kind of light is in the oil?
What kind of light is in the oil?
Yeah.
What kind of light is in the oil? Are you seeing light coming out of the oil? The oil is actually a mixture of different oils that have properties of health, wealth, destroying negative energy, other forms of prosperity. Let's see.
Oh, they said the silver piece.
Oh, okay. So that's a key piece that is hard as hell to get over here in the United States. I got this one and have maintained it since I got this one in Malaysia. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you. So, puja oils are not the same. I have tried them all, and I travel very far to get the kind of puja oil that I like. And this particular one is a mixture of 5 different oils that are auspicious. Castor oil. So you all can make this for yourself. I'm giving you like a huge deal of information.
The sauce.
The sauce, yes, the sauce. Castor oil, rice bran oil, mahua oil, gingerly oil, and coconut oil. Okay? Each of these has a spiritual attribute.
Can you show the bottle?
Nah, yo, I'm giving you the ingredients. Find you a brand. Nah. But I will give you, I'm going to have you write this down, give you the properties of each one. Okay, so castor oil brings harmony in relationships. because now with the ingredients and what they bring, you can be more specific in your rituals. Okay. Gingerly oil emits positive energy. Another, I'll get to it. Coconut oil provides clarity of thought and peace of mind. And notice the crossover in all esoterics. Coconut oil, coconut water are absolutely very, very effective in clearing what is your ori, your soul mind. Okay, so if you really need clarity, you want to include some more of that in your life. Okay, washing your head with it, drinking it, eating it. Yeah, all right. Mahua oil bestows health and wealth. Rice bran oil appeases the goddess Lakshmi. Um, and Lakshmi is more about ensuring that you always have food to eat. You always have a generous amount of sustenance. So whether it's physical food or sustenance from nourishment from your environment. Okay, and that's that. Another one that's not in this one. So they're not all the same. Okay, and this there is one. See, the brands will switch up. That's the thing. They will switch up. That's not even the first brand that I came to know and really love. But that's what they're using now. One of the brands that I love also has sesame oil in it, and sesame seed oil is really good at repelling negativity. So, what do I have? This is mustard oil can be in the mixture. That's another auspicious one. And let me see. Is this one sesame? Yep. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. So gingerly oil, sesame oil. The sesame seed oil, even toasting sesame seeds in your home just for the smell can help to break up any negative energy that is lingering in the space. All right. Let's go set this back some. Let's go to the sink because I'm going to clean this out. And as you can tell, the bricks themselves, and the level of the altar is set so that when I'm sitting in front of it, my navel is across from my center deities, right? You have Lakshmi, Lalita Tripura Sundari, and Ma Durga, okay? And all the Mahavidyas are here, okay? I have all of them, and I have all of them. Everybody is here, gang gang. My navel is able to connect because when I'm chanting, these points on my body need to be able to connect with the vibration that is coming off of the altar. My highest hopes are that you are able to one day have the experience which will confirm what I'm sharing with you, which is actually very sacred and close to me, especially because there's things that are going to happen on your journey that are not going to be told to you, but they will be confirmed once they happen to you, and then you share with your group. Okay?
There's some more questions.
What's up?
What do you use the mixtures of oil for exactly?
I'm going to show you. You're actually burning them. The oils are alive. Remember, the oils are made from live seeds. Okay? And they're a spirit that work with the deities.
And then, how do you spell Mahuba oil?
M as in Mary, A-H-U-N.
Oh, Mahua. Mm-hmm. Okay. This one.
All right. So follow me. I'll show you guys this here because you can get this pretty cheap and have fun with it. So let me take my time to get enough. I don't spill this. Okay. a moment. All right, you all. I'll be right back because I want to share something else. All right, what you'll see in my hand is a brand new sponge. Um, what you don't want to do. You don't want to cross contaminate things. You want whatever you're using for your altar to be sacred to your altar pieces. Yes, it's totally fine to have a white, it doesn't matter the color, to be honest, just a rag that is dedicated to your altar. Your altar is going to accumulate dust at times. You may have spills, candles might explode, you have wax. You're going to want to be able to clean it off. You're not going to use harsh soaps for things like your yantras. And when you don't have, I mean, like if something gets really dirty, you're gonna use more like some lemon water to wipe them down, but you're not gonna use soap. All right, because you've done a lot of charging with your yantras, and you know over time they get a little dirty. But if you maintain cleaning them, they'll be fine. Plus, when you're doing your offerings and you're using the fresh flowers, you'll pull the actual uh, head of the flower off and put that onto your yantra, which there should be some water on the flower heads. Actually, I did get some fresh flowers. Maybe I'll show you that another time, but I can describe it. Okay, so you're gonna take your water, you're gonna sprinkle it over your water, over your flowers, and then as you're doing your mantras, you're going to pull the head of the flower. You're going to do your mantra, and then you'll place it directly on the yantra. That little bit of water and the plant being there is going to help to break up any kind of dirt that's there. And as soon as you start to see that it's turning, okay, you're gonna go and you're gonna wipe it off, or you're gonna do it right before then. Like if you have a weekly practice, some of you have a daily practice, you can change the flowers daily. So if you buy a bouquet, you only need the one flower to put on each yantra. Um, for some of you, if you get a bouquet of roses, right? You know you can use a few petals of each rose to put on each yantra. So, you know, use what you have, and it's not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna get way bigger rewards because you've thrown all these flowers on top of your altar and it's covered in flowers and nothing can be seen. No, it's still more of an adornment when you're doing it. It's, you know, so make it beautiful. And you're better off if you do have a lot of flowers. Do the ritual daily, putting the fresh flowers, and you put whatever you don't use in a little plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator. Okay? Now, for this particular bowl, I can use soap. I'm gonna use some rose soap. I use rose for everything. Okay, so I don't need much, but here's this, right? So this wick is done. You see, it's built up a lot of crud. Okay, so this is not gonna be reused. If you was in a bind and you're like, oh, I'm out, you know, you can try to wipe it off. Okay, and then put another wick through there. But I have more. Put that on the side. Okay. So like I said, for this, I've had this for years. For years, y'all. And as you can see, you know, it might have a little bit of age to it, but it's still intact. It's not super rusty. It ain't It's not falling apart. Sometimes the cords get a little loose and I just push it in a little further. But like with this, the same thing. It still has a little bit of oil on it. I'm not trying to get it to be squeaky clean. I'm just washing off what was already cleared. Alright? And then for those of you, you can either pour this in your sink or your toilet, depending on your septic system, because it is oil. But, you know, you're using some soap for the bowl. And even still, I'm using the soap for my bowl. I'm using a clean sponge or a cloth that I use specifically for my altar. And I'm actually deep cleaning some of my cloths right now, so that's why I'm using a brand new sponge. Because I use a cloth to clean off ashes and oil spills and all of that, so that I get a clean burn. With the glass, I do wash it till it's squeaky clean because it's glass and I don't want it to have any residue. So right now I'm using warm water.
You have a question.
What's the question?
I think somebody asked what is it called, but I think they're talking about this right here.
This? Y'all, I don't even know what it's called. Like I've tried to describe it. I've gone to multiple Indian stores. I'm like, I need the thing that holds the wick for the Puja oil. And they're like, show me a picture. And I showed them a picture and they can't even find it. I've never been able to find it. It was a gift. It literally was a gift from my guru. He gave it to me. He was like, you're going to need this when you go back to the States. And he was not lying. He also gave me these other wicks, but I couldn't find those here in America either. So I found these. You know, those Jews, they're good for something. They got, they got some of the materials we need, alright? So here's just a couple to show you what they look like. And here's the box. Only because I really know this joint is mad hard to find. But here, floating wicks. Okay. They can be a pain in the butt. And so you have the disc. This is a fresh disc. And then these are the wax wicks.
Somebody has a question. What would you say is the best thing to do when trying to build a relationship with Lakshmi in a place amongst people who make cleanliness a tough job until you have your own place?
That's a good question. So the first thing I would do, so I can't stand roommates, and I never had any, really. Damn, I don't think I ever have. Not that girl. If I wanted to build a relationship with Lakshmi, the first thing I would do is, one, I would invest in her yantra, a statue, and get a fresh cotton, yellow or red cloth. And anytime I wanted to work with her, I would take her out. I would clear my space, right, when no one's around, and I would do my offerings and stuff, do my meditations with her, and then when I was done, I would use fresh cold water, like rinse it off, like if you were doing a hydration right, and you did water and milk and ghee and turmeric, all these things, you know, she gets kind of messy. Wash her off, and I would wrap her back in that same cloth, and I would keep her in a safe space, and keep the yantra on me. Okay? Because that would be your best bet of, one, maintaining a clean experience between you and her, and then because you've been consistently working with her, let's say, you know, those roommate people are gone, right? Maybe they're gone for the weekend. That's when I'll put that cloth out and I would light my candle for her. And see, the cool thing about this, right? Look at this picture. Look at this picture. You know, you can go to the dollar store and get those little glass candle cups. You can fill that with, I'm going to show you how to fill it with water and the puja oil. Put one of these babies in there, and you'll have like a mini official shrine for her, and have that going as you go to sleep. Right after you do your mantras and go to sleep, and let it burn through the night, because this will burn a couple of days long. Okay? Is that helpful?
And you have another one. What should we play throughout our new place to welcome in Lakshmi in a fresh new apartment throughout the day and overnight to set her frequency and vibration?
Um, to set your space first, you should have my mother's floor wash to wash your floors to banish any energy that's in there. It's very potent. It's temple grade, so it's concentrated to clear the space totally out. Then you want to use smoke to clear your space out. Place fresh flowers in your space, things like running water. It does not necessarily need to be her mantras yet, but, and I said, trust me on this. Playing the frequencies first to like clear out any negativity, and then playing frequencies like that's what lower, like 417. Then you want to bring it up to like 528, so that you can have your heart being open in the space and creating this very soft and warm energetic in there for her energy to come in, and playing Om as a regular mantra through the house. The first sound of Lakshmi's voice in your brand new space should be your voice. You're inviting her into your space. Let the voice that calls her be yours. I hope that not only makes sense, but also is more empowering to you. We have meditations available on both Dark Lordism Patreon and on the House of Chi Patreon, where you can find formulas of Lakshmi mantras being played, and that too, being your connection to your teachers, is beneficial.
All right, you have another one. How often do you have to refill the water as it burns?
Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I showed you guys what it looked like before, right? The thing that burns is the oil. So that's the key. Next, you're gonna use cold water, okay? You want to use cold water. I'm going to show you that you can use tap water if this is what you have, okay? You also can use spring water. If you're gonna use like river water, you can distill it by like boiling it and then putting it in. And I say that only because be nice to each other.
No, that's him running. That's him running around and doing stuff.
Oh my gosh, boy.
The zoomies.
The zoomies.
The black cat zoomies.
You can use. There are some places where when you gather water, it's really clear. You want to put clear water. That's what I want to get at. You don't want to use murky water as a means of cleansing your space. That should go without saying. Okay. So when you are collecting water, some of the best places when weather permits, is to go to the points where the water is moving, because you get the freshest, most clearest water there, as opposed to water that's touching the riverbed or the ocean bed. Okay? So here is, I put the wick inside of the center here, and then this will go and sit on top of this. Okay? And so you see the bottom? Alright, so y'all, here's my bowl of fresh water. I think it's a little high, so I'm gonna pour it out. I poured some out because I want to put a nice amount of oil in there. Follow me. Alright, so with this, when you get your oil, you shake it up because it's a mixed oil and you want it to be evenly mixed. Be generous with it. So go ahead and pour it in there. It's just about done, but I'm gonna leave that. What I add to my water, I told y'all I put that thing on everything. I do add a little bit of rose water. Okay, so once that's in there, I place my little floaty thing. Now some of y'all are creative, okay? You might just go take your wine cork and slice it in half and put a little piece of metal on it and create your own thing. By all means, do your thing. And if you find these, okay, let me know. All right. So here we have a fresh wick. Okay. In this space, matches over lighters. Can you use a lighter? Absolutely. But matches over lighters. Okay? You try to keep everything in this space natural. Alright? Enchant. Whenever you're lighting your lamp, you chant Om to set it off. Everyone here takes Om. Okay? And it'll do its thing. Also, we'll burn some incense. And use sound to clear. And so that's it really for tonight. This is an official altar. I did kind of share with you the cloth altar where you have like a bandana size yellow cloth for working with Lakshmi to place down, and then you can wrap her up in it and then open it back up when you're ready to work with her. Um, if you don't have a foldable, and then the foldable tray table, same thing. You can fold that, put it on the side of your bed, and just pull it out when no one's around and you're ready to work with her, and then just put it back away. Any more questions?
So, one person said, "I've been chanting her mantras the occult college way, and I feel the electricity in my stomach, but not sure if it's working because I constantly have to clean the home, and it can be tiring."
The fact that you're feeling the electricity in your body is the most important thing. Unlike uh, the religious ideology of this, you're praying or worshiping some type of godly being outside of yourself. When you start to feel the electricity and the vibrations within yourself, that's the point, is that you're awakening the energy within yourself. So the more that you feel it within yourself, you know that that energy is going to follow you. And your energy itself is going to start to transform your space. You're either going to end up having the opportunity to move into a brand new space, or those people are going to leave the space, or their behaviors will start to change because the way that you are being meticulous about your work shifts the energy. And if you focus more on that being the goal, to get yourself into a space where you have more of a resonance of the cleanliness of Lakshmi in your home, it will manifest, especially if you're feeling that electricity around your belly, because that's where you really can bring things into life.
And then, what's the best stuff I can use to cleanse my home, like when I'm cleaning, to remove stagnant energy and let in positive, blissful energy, please?
Mother's floor wash and the things that you burn after that, it depends on the energy. But we say it all the time, you know. You have your frankincense, you have your copal. But washing helps to remove dirt and to remove these energies that are attached to the emotional that lives in all the things around your home, especially lodged into the floors, because our feet carry an energy signature.
Yes.
Any more questions? All right, y'all. Put some yellow hearts and some lotuses in the chat if y'all really enjoyed my little tutorial. And if y'all like this, drop some comments in the comment section below. After the video is over, make sure to thumbs up the video, share it in the Discord, so they get a chance to see it if they missed it. Shake the button. And for everybody who is going to be admitted into the Sri Suktam initiation, y'all gonna get some extra sauce. So don't worry about it. Okay. And actually, I have I have Lakshmi. I have a Lakshmi that has been with me. So if someone is interested in this one that has been with me, has been charged, then we know she's heavy and she has space for you to put some of your petitions under her. Yeah, you can see her. You can see her little powders from her being charged up. Closing these. So if you're interested, let me know. Text me at 202-810-1876. You see that size? That's the kind of size I'm talking about. You can wrap that in your cloth, tuck her away, and then bring her out. 202-810-1876 if you're interested in this particular Lakshmi that has been listening, getting all of the chance and energy.
You have another question?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. $5. Nah. What's your question?
Do you have Lakshmi yantras available?
No, not right now. Um, Finding the ones that are authentic and yeah, none of my none of these yantras that you see here. Some of them, maybe one or two of them, I may have been able to find stateside. But if you look, like I told you all, they're not always gonna be looking shiny and stuff like that. I'll give y'all a chance to see. All right, same like y'all. What's gonna happen over the years, right? Is that you have your yantras that y'all receive from us. Over time, they're gonna look like this because they've been through lots of rituals. Okay, lots of rituals. Um, these yantras I received from my guru, and you want to keep it like that. That you get your yantras from your guru because they're programmed for you, and that's an important thing. Okay, this is all beautiful and all of that, but there's a very, very dark side to working tantra as necessary, and you just never know, you know, what you're getting, who you're dealing with, what energy you're bringing into your practice. Okay? Anything else? All right. Peace, love, and bliss. I'll catch up with y'all soon. Thanks for being with me tonight. I hope y'all are satisfied. All right. Later.